This is a review on the EagleTac P100A2. This light was provided by Pacific Tactical Solutions for FCW6. FCW6 was a camping trip that was set together by some Candle Power 4 members. This light is around $40 online. It's a 2 AA light with two modes, a general and a turbo mode. If you untwist the head, you can see that there is this outer ring that allows you to put the light into turbo mode. To do so, when the head is on loose, it's in general mode, and then if you tighten the head all the way down, it goes into turbo mode. EagleTac has the output listed as 195 lumens for 1.8 hours on turbo mode and 55 lumens for 8 hours on general mode. They also claim that it has flat regulation output, but what they don't say is that when they did their testing, they used rechargeable AA's. With alkalines, the output isn't really that flatly regulated, and it's definitely not that long. But if you do use rechargeables, then the output is actually, it's pretty close to the time that EagleTac gives. I think the difference is like you get to 50% in 1.5 hours on turbo, and you get to 50% output in around 7 to 7.5 hours in the general mode. The finish is pretty good. I know some people had some troubles with chipped finish in the hard anodized, but I mean, I don't really think that's that big of an issue because my lights are users. You know, I don't plan on keeping them pristine anyway. The knurling is pretty good. It's not really sharp like maybe on some Surefire lights, but it's a lot better than the knurling that was on the Solar Force. It's good enough where that, you know, the light won't just slip out of your hands that easily. The emitter is an XPE Q5. If I shine a light in there, you can see it's actually a relatively small die compared to some of the other LED lights. Like the only Q5 LED die I really have any experience with is the XRE Q5, and apparently their outputs should be similar, and the only difference I can tell is that the hotspot this light puts out is a lot smaller because the emitter die is smaller, and also it's a lot whiter. With the XRE Q5s, they tend to be more on the blue tinted side, while this is much more white. Like I think they call it cool white, and then there's another version that's a neutral white. It does have a smooth reflector, which, you know, I'm pretty surprised to see. A lot of flashlights now have textured reflectors, and it also has a really deep reflector. So I think that with the combination of the smooth reflector and the deep reflector, and the fact that it is such a small emitter, then it makes the hotspot a lot smaller, that this light throws really well considering it's just a 2 AA light. It definitely outthrows my cork. It probably won't outthrow like the Malkoff M60, but I mean, it's really impressive. Like even on the general mode, it throws out really far, and it doesn't light up as much, but you know, the throw is there. Like you can't use the spill at all in the general mode at far distances. What does light come with? It doesn't come with much really. It has 2 spare O-rings, which, I mean, as you can see, they're actually pretty thick, and the O-rings make good contact with the body of the light. So I mean, it's rated for IPX8 waterproofness, and I'm pretty sure it can handle that much. You could put this in like a tub of water or anything. I'm sure it won't have any adverse effects. It also comes with a lanyard loop, and this is one big down point I have for the light. This lanyard ring, I mean, I'm not sure if you can see that well, but it's not very circular. It's a little oval in shape. You can see like there's a point right here, and it's also not very flat. It's like, I guess, I'm not sure when it was bent. I don't know if I accidentally bent it myself, but I mean, this metal seems very hard and not very flexible, so I think it probably just came from the factory that way. To use the lanyard ring, you basically unscrew the tail cap, and in the directions they tell you to take the O-ring off, but I found that this ring is so large that it just kind of slips right over the O-ring. like so, and then you're supposed to screw the tail cap back on, and with other lights it should stay in place, but you see there's like a lot of wiggle room in there, and so this kind of rotates around, and I don't really think it looks that good on the light itself, so I don't plan on using it. I guess, you know, the option's there, but I'm not a big fan of lanyards on my lights to begin with anyway. Because it does have a lanyard ring, the tail cap isn't screwed at all, so you can't put a split ring through the tail cap, and there isn't that much space in between like the switch and the tail edge, so you can't really screw a hole in there yourself for a split ring. The switch is pretty nice. It's like it has a very positive click to it, and it is a forward clicky, so you can see if you just soft press it, you have momentary on and momentary, instead of, you know, momentary off with the reverse clicky switches. It does have some crenulations, which I find these are the useful crenulations. Like, they're not excessively sharp like was on the Solar Force, you know. They're not and they're not beveled at all, so they won't cut into you, and they're not really pointy. You know, what they do is that when you have it standing on the head, and if the light's on, you'll be able to tell that the light is indeed on or off, and then you can turn it on. The problem with the sharp crenulations is that they might be good for self-defense or, you know, any tactical applications, but if you try and slip them into your pocket, they'll cut up and rip up the pockets pretty easily. But I mean, overall, this light is great. You know, for $40, it can't be beat. I had the options of getting the C2, which is the 123A version, but I don't really have any lights that come in the 2AA configuration, so I just decided to get this. And I think that if you don't have a light in this class, and you're looking for a 2AA light, you can't go wrong with this light. You know, $40, it might seem like a lot, but compared to some other brand flashlights, it's actually fairly inexpensive. You can get the P20, which is, like, I guess a better a better class of EagleTac lights. Almost same configurations, except it does come with more things. Like, it does come with a belt holster, and you also get a clip for the light itself, but the cost is also like $25 more. And, you know, since I already have this light, I don't think it's worth paying the extra money to get another P20, especially since, you know, I regularly didn't like 2-cell lights because I find that they're a little harder to carry compared to 1-cell lights. But I've been carrying this for the past few days, and I've liked it a lot, and I think I'll keep on carrying it until, you know, I just maybe get another light. So yeah, that's about it for this review. Thanks for watching.